Hi YouTube, hi everyone. It's Soy Sweet 99 and I wanted to talk to you guys today because I had a couple of things on my mind that I wanted to discuss. And one particular subject, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about sex and our sex lives and how often, in our relationships we had sex or had sex in the past. And I was telling her that I was married once upon a time, and the sex was okay in the beginning, and we had sex. I could say in the beginning it wasn't that often, but I told her, I said, when I was married, I had sex about once a month, if that, and I was pretty young at the time, like 24. And I started looking up a key term and trying to figure out. For a lot of people, it was hard for them to believe, oh, a man laying next to you every night, how could they not want to have sex? I just don't, I don't get it. Even if some men are having affairs, they're still going to want to have sex if they're in the bed with a woman. But I literally did go through not having sex every night, or sometimes a month will go by and there's no sex. And I used to get tired of bringing it up all the time. Okay, why are we not having sex? Why are we not having sex? We haven't had sex. You know what I mean? It started kind of making me feel a little like I was a sex fanatic. Those are the things that your partner will tell you. So I'm doing this video for any women out there, and I'm pretty sure there's men as well. But men go through it more often with women, so it's more common. But so this video is kind of geared towards any women who may have gone through the same thing. But I saw a couple of videos actually on YouTube and on a website, intimacyanorexic.com. And there was a guy, I don't remember his name, but he's on YouTube, and he mentioned that, which I kind of figured, with my psychological mind, that partners can do this to just purposely avoid intimacy with you. So it is used as a form of control. Some of the signs and symptoms that I can relate to, I was married about 8 years, we were together, but I would go through things like, for an example, he would go out, he would have friends, talk on the phone with them, share his whole day with them. And then he comes home to me and he really doesn't have much to say. And what tends to happen is that you start feeling like that person is your roommate. You feel like they're your roommate. You're just roommates sharing the same place, and that's it. And then you get into bed at night and nothing happens. And then you give up as a woman, that you give up and you stop even trying to attempt because you're feeling stupid, because you're like, oh, he's the man, he should be trying to have sex with me, right? Isn't that the way it's supposed to go? But in situations like that, I know it was kind of slightly a toxic relationship to an extent, but a lot of the problems we had was the lack of intimacy. And the lack of, you get in a bed in the night at night with me and you're not cuddling me, or our backs are both turned, and a day turns into 2 days, 2 days turns into a week turns into months, and next thing you know, the whole month went by and you didn't have sex. So, for couples who have active sex lives, it's kind of hard to believe that you could be with someone for 8 to 9 or maybe even 10 years without having sex. But this does happen in a lot of relationships. You'll be surprised, for those of you who have an active sex life. Sometimes people say, well, maybe they're cheating. Yes, that can be possible. Someone can also be an intimacy anorexic and they can, still be cheating on you. So those are some of the signs that you want to look for. Is the fact that you notice, one, that they're on the phone and they're talking to a friend or family member, it could be, and they're basically explaining their whole day, and you're hearing things that they never told you. But as soon as they get off the phone with that person, even if you say to them, oh, I didn't know that your brother was in the hospital, they probably didn't mention it to you, but they told it to the friend that they barely know. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll have conversations with these people on the phone, kind of so you could hear. And then, at the end of the day, it's like you're kind of like living two different lives. You're in the same household. Maybe once upon a time, he probably rubbed up on you or slapped your butt, when you walk to the kitchen or something. Remember, those things, like even slapping your butt or, hugging up on you, those are forms of affection. So if they withhold the affection from you, what will happen is you will then suffer. And a lot of women who, let's say, were married to narcissistic men, some of them tend to have some of these traits. I'm not going to say all narcissists do, but a lot of narcissists do have some of these traits too, because they use this as leverage against you. So you want to pay attention to, one, like I said, that they're sharing news with people and it's news you never heard. But when it comes to you, they're really not telling you like what happened during the day or what's going on with them. They're not really talking too much about, like their feelings. So intimacy in relationships, sharing our feelings with our partner is a form of intimacy, because as we get in bed at night and we cuddle or we sit and watch TV together and we talk about different things or how we feel about life or what's going forward, that's a form of intimacy. So if your partner is not talking to you and they're not sharing tips from their day with you or even speaking about anything about how they feel about life, that is a sign to look out for. Another thing that I remember going through, like I said, was the lack of sex. And with the lack of sex, it would be that your partner can even have an erection and be laying in the bed with you. And you're kind of wondering, okay, he's getting turned on, but why are you not trying to sleep with me? You know what I mean? So that's also intimacy anorexic as well, because they're withholding sex from you on purpose. You might notice their frustration while they're in the bed. So they may twist and turn because what they're doing is trying to avoid sleeping with you. So what that also can lead to is them actually going outside and cheating, because they would rather cheat than to give you the pleasure of getting what you want, which is sex, So these kind of relationships are somewhat dangerous, but I believe that they can be repairable. In my particular case, I decided to leave and give it up and not even try to go any further with it. I do believe that sex is an important part of a relationship, and it brings closeness between two people, whether it be a man and a woman, two men, or a woman and a woman. So, I did say that this video was geared towards women, but I know that we have same-sex couples that go through the same issue as well. I have lots of friends and family members that are in same-sex relationships, and they've gone to, usually it might be the more dominant partner or the partner that wants to be more dominant, and he or she feels like they're losing power. What they tend to do basically is withhold sex or withhold affection from their partner so that their partner can come begging. And the fact that the partner is coming to them and begging for what they desire, which is to be held, to be caressed, and to be praised. Another symptom of intimacy anorexia, or basically, your partner, ignoring you purposely and withholding from you, is praise. The partner could possibly praise you on other things. They'll praise you like around people. Like they'll, say, oh, babe, you look good. Or, you look good. You look fine today. But let's say you received a major milestone. Like, let's say you just got your master's degree or you received an award on a job. Something that should be celebrated heavily, but they don't celebrate it. That's a form of intimacy, celebrating your partner's achievements. This is what happens in normal relationships. We celebrate our partner's achievements. If our partner, just hit the lotto, or our partner just bought a new car, or, you just got a promotion at work. These are things that we're going to either tell our family or, if we have social media, sometimes we'll probably post it. Congrats to my hubby, my wife, whatever. But when you see that a big deal is not made on your accomplishment, this is intimacy anorexia. They're starving you basically of intimacy. So this is a really serious issue. And, a lot of couples don't talk about it a lot, and there are times that we usually focus on the man not getting sex, and it's something that we hear all the time. But women go through this, same-sex relationships go through this same exact thing. But it's something that I believe could be treated with therapy if the other partner wants to treat it. If they want to go to therapy, they want to talk about it, and you guys fix that particular issue. But one of the things that I would advise you not to do if you're in this situation, because I've been there, done that, I don't feel like you should bring up what you are lacking. Once you tell them, I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring it up, but once you tell your partner, hey, I feel like we're not hugging, we haven't kissed in about 2 months, or we're not making love, what's going on? And you told them a couple of times. In a normal relationship, your partner is going to try to fix that because they don't want to see you upset. But in intimacy anorexia, what happens is that partner will starve you even more because of the fact that you mentioned to them that you are wanting to have sex. So they're like, bingo, green light. That's what I'm going to do. This is something you want, so I'm going to starve you of it. I don't know. Those are like 3 common traits that I could think of that happen in these type of relationships. And I'm going to do a couple of videos and I'm going to talk more about it on how to resolve issues with it, how to get over it, and how to feel better about yourself during times like that. And one of the things that I realize kind of sometimes works is that when you do focus on yourself, and even though it will hurt. I'm not going to say that it won't, but when you do focus on yourself and you go do things, you don't even ask them anymore. Why are we not intimate? Why are we not having sex? And you just go about your day. They're going to notice that you're not asking them anymore. You're not bringing it up. They may think you're having an affair, but at the end of the day, for your own sanity, sometimes this is the best thing that you have to do. I know in my particular marriage that I was in at the time, I kind of just had to just ignore it and realize that I don't know if this is going to get better, because it's like the more I tell him I need praise and affection, I need, you didn't accomplish, I had just got into accepted into a nursing school at the time, and he made light of the situation, like, oh, well, you know what I mean? So like things like that'll happen. And you know, when you're not strong enough, you will find yourself crying because you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, wow, you didn't even congratulate me. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You didn't, my own husband, like, didn't even congratulate me or thank me, or tell everyone, or throw a party for me, or do anything. And you may even find that they may act like they don't really remember your birthday, or like your birthday is no big deal when it comes around. So birthdays are intimate, and holidays like Valentine's Day and things like that are intimate holidays. And part of intimacy anorexia is to ignore the holiday and act like it's another day. And why are you making such a big deal about Valentine's Day? Why are you making a big deal about your birthday? Or, but it is a form of abuse. So I feel like the person that is actually putting, doing the intimacy anorexia is aware that their victim, which is their partner, is hurting behind this. This is not like, sometimes we may tell ourselves, well, maybe they don't know that they're hurting me. But trust and believe, once you say it a couple times and they know really and truly what's important in a relationship, it's not like this is fresh and new to them. They know exactly what they're doing to you. So I would say that you should seek help. Talk it out to loved ones, and just so you're not going crazy. Sometimes you have to validate your own thoughts in your head or things that you notice, and you can bring it up to other couples. Because I remember at the time feeling like, okay, well, maybe other people aren't having sex and this is not weird. But when you sit and you talk to other people and you realize that in normal relationships, their partner is going to want to come on to them, or they're going to want to be intimate, or after a long day, 2 people are going to want to be intimate. And you'll be surprised how many people in the world live in sexless marriages. And I mean, there can be other reasons. I'm not talking about medical reasons and things like that, but I'm just talking about where one partner is personally trying to avoid the other partner because they're trying to inflict pain on them. So there was a website that I did go to. They said that there was a test on there, and I'm gonna go look at it and see, like, if you guys can go and see some of the classic symptoms of a intimacy anorexic person, basically. But anyway, I just felt like I wanted to touch that subject briefly tonight. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Please like this video, rate and comment this video, and comment below. Subscribe to my channel, soy_sweet99. Thank you, and you guys have a good night.